Welcome to this Fixit channel, and on this video we're going to take a look at the privacy settings of Windows 10, but more specifically the one that is probably the setting that has a lot of people wondering what exactly is being sent out and how important it is to switch or change these. And it's the feedback and diagnostics information that Microsoft is receiving from Windows 10 computers. Because yes, your machine is sending out telemetry to Microsoft. It's something that you cannot stop, but you can change how much of data is being sent out. And I'll explain to you what and how is being sent out, and of course you can make up your own mind in here. So go into your notifications area on the bottom right, go into all settings, and in all settings you can of course go to privacy. You can use Cortana also to type settings for all settings. So there, go on the left side way down to feedback and diagnostics, and here is what we have as information. The first part at the top in the Fall Careers Update, and all of this has been changed a little bit since the first version of Windows 10. So it's I think it's nice to revisit some of these settings. So the feedback and diagnostics, first of all, are two settings are here and are available for you, which is basic and full. Like I said, notice you can't switch it off. Your machine will always be sending data to Microsoft, but the amount of data will be very, very different from the basic to the full version. In the basic settings, only the most important information is sent to Microsoft about how Windows 10 is behaving in your computer. It will have a little bit of information about your hardware and your software you use, but it's really the strict minimum. It's just to make sure that things are working right, and if there's something wrong, they'll know about it and they'll see what they can do. Basic means no personal data is in there. Nothing you do on your PC that is sensitive, that is personal, that no one should see will be sent in the basic level. It's really just Windows 10 stuff. Send anonymously. They don't know it's your PC. They don't know whose PC it is. They have no idea. So that's the basic one. The full diagnostics, there's a lot more being sent out. Every app is sending data. Everything you do is checked out in a way to understand the behavior of Windows 10 with the general usage you have with your PC. Once again, anonymized, and they don't know from what PC or from who it comes from. They don't know it's you, basically. But there's one little thing with the full diagnostics and feedback that could be, and that is a remote possibility, but it could send personal data. It's because the full diagnostics sends a lot of data, and they actually take, in some crashes or some problems sometimes that they could see, they will take a snapshot of what is in your RAM memory, what is in the random access memory. And that memory is used all the time while you use your PC. So if you have a document open, if you have a web page open, if you have some personal details and some software open, they might actually be in the RAM at the moment of the snapshot. And if they are, and you got to understand, that needs to be there at the moment of the snapshot. So that's where the chances of that happening are lower, but it's not zero. And yes, that snapshot can contain some personal sensitive data. Once again, it's anonymous, so they don't know from who it is. They can't pinpoint that it's from you. So you got to understand that. So it's up to you to decide. You want to have the basic or the full version. I leave it at full. I do not think Microsoft is doing anything bad, and I think sending a full data maybe helps them, diagnostic and make Windows 10 and the general apps run better on our PCs. But if for you, privacy is kind of an issue, you kind of feel, well, maybe, these companies are snooping too much on us, you can of course put the little, basic setting, and you'll be okay, and don't worry about it. So I'll keep it at full. Then you've got another one here that says, let Microsoft provide more tailored experiences with relevant tips and recommendations by using your diagnostics data. This one is more of a, by looking at the usage of your PC, like, it can actually send you little tips. For example, you would be using Google Chrome. There could be a notification that would pop up here and say, oh, do you know that Microsoft Edge is much better and much faster and has better battery life and blah, blah, blah. That's the kind of thing that you can get from recommendations here. I turn it off because, you know, I don't want to be annoyed in my Windows usage with all sorts of these little details. So that could be, of course, switched off to make sure that, you know, you don't get any of these recommendations if you do not wish to. And then you got feedback frequency windows should ask for my feedback. These are little pop-ups, and some of you might have seen it. These pop-ups are typically coming to you from the fact that different, like pretty much randomly, and so you use, for example, Microsoft Edge, and it's going to tell you, oh, by the way, would you recommend Microsoft Edge to your friends? What do you think of it? Give it a score. Do you have any, you know, personal comments on it, and so on. So it's little pop-ups that appear randomly that ask you about your own feedback of different things. So you might be using the settings like I have now, and it might pop up and say, so what do you think about settings? Is there something we should change? You know, what from 1 to 5, how do you rate the settings app, and so on. I personally leave it automatic because I like answering these questions. I believe that it might be useful if you tell them honestly what you think of something. That, you know, it might change with time if people don't like, for example, a specific feature and so on. This, you have the full choice of automatically, always, once a day, once a week, or never. You don't want to be annoyed and be asked about whether you like this or not. Just choose never. It's quite all right. So I'll leave it at automatically. I kind of like to answer on these a little bit. And finally, you have, of course, give us feedback about Feedback Hub survey notifications. You can also learn more about the feedback and diagnostics. It's going to send you to the Microsoft webpage where they explain a little more in detail what this is all about if you want to read about it and so on. And of course, you can learn how these settings actually impact your privacy and so on. So this is where everything is happening. Hopefully you can make a choice of your own on this and basically decide how much data is being sent out from your PC. And like I said, you can't turn this off. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. Hope you enjoy our videos. Thank you for watching.